Hey guys, this is Arnablus98, and here is everyone's favorite yellow Kid Appeal character, Bumblebee, from Transformers The Last Knight. Before we get started, thank you guys so much. My channel has just reached over 5,000 subscribers, and that is a very big number, and I don't think I even know 5,000 people personally, but glad to know that 5,000 people know me. And thank you for all your support, and I know my channel hasn't been very active lately because of college and everything, but I'm glad to be back this summer and glad to be working on The Last Knight finally. Yeah, so thank you so much for your support, and yeah, I guess I don't have this isn't a very proper video, but I guess B would be the 5,000 sub special because I want to keep on working on The Last Knight instead of stop to make instructions or a tips video because I want to make the most out of my summer here. And while I was digging around in my room, and I did find my sign I made for 100 subscribers back in like November of 2015, and it's crazy to think that I have 50 times the amount of that. So thank you so much for your support, and I'll continue to be making these amazing LEGO Transformers despite college and other like obligations. Anyways, yeah, before we get started, please note, I made B before the movie came out, and this video was made before the movie came out, and the trailer just came out earlier today, which is really exciting, and yeah, but if I did miss something out, it's probably because I didn't see the movie yet, so yeah, I might make an update video if something comes out that's more accurate. Anyways, yes, Bumblebee is his 2017 concept Camaro. Anyways, yeah, this design was really tricky to do. Just like it's cool that Bumblebee came back to his normal like look from the first 3 movies, but that was really tricky to do for my first movie, Bumblebee. And I didn't really do too well with that. He was kind of fat. His car mode wasn't very good, and yeah, so I started from scratch for this guy. The only inspiration I took from that was the head and the door wings, which I think I did well in that. Anyways, this concept Camaro, spinning him around. I think I did a very nice job in the car mode. It's very reminiscent of his Age of Extinction version, which I had to take apart to make this, obviously. Yeah, the front, I like how it turned out. You see the grille, it's mostly black and like has it like kind of like lines everywhere. Unfortunately, it's not that accurate. There should be another line at the bottom that's like yellow, but I couldn't fit that in without making the car too fat, which was a problem with my first Bumblebee. Anyways, I really like how this turned out, and yeah, of course, towards the back, things get a little like messy. You can see like kind of like cut, like this part back feels like separate. And yeah, the top doesn't look good. You can see the exposed arms and stuff. It's for transformation, of course. And you could kind of pretend, if you squint a little, this could be the back windshield. He has the spoiler, his rear headlights. And yeah, I think I did a pretty good job, especially the front. And of course, you can see from the top, it's all black. Well, it should be like a huge solid line. And from the bottom, you see his head and some other ball joint stuff. Not too obvious besides the head. And I have a little tile here because I couldn't find an unprinted version of that. And a cool thing you could do is his wheels can move around like that, so you can kind of make him look like he's like steering, which is very nice. The other Transformer I had that could do that was a Knockout from Transformers Prime. And one last thing, a little size comparison with Barricade in vehicle mode. And they scale very nicely, actually. They look great together. And obviously in the trailer we see them fight each other in car mode and kind of chase each other around, which is kind of cool. Yep, they look great together. Alright, now let's get to transformation. At this moment, version 2 of the Bumblebee's Deluxe has not been released, so I did not base it off that. But I did base it off some other previous Bumblebee toys, and mostly stuff I made up compared to my original. And yeah, transformation is really complicated, well, especially compared to my Age of Extinction Transformers that were Deluxes. And it's probably because I'm glad to see all the Transformers from The Last Knight. Most of them have more car parts on them, which means that certain things have to end up in a certain position, and that makes things a little bit more complicated for me, especially since Bumblebee's design is like definitely like fairly complicated. Like, it seems simple, but it's really complicated when you make it from Lego. Alright, let's get started. Of course, let's start with his legs. Usually you would pull out the, you could pull these out first, just for now. They're on these little droid arms, and you just fold them back to form his little, like, back shoulder wheels. And for the rear, you first of all you gotta untab this whole back section. Tabs in right here, and you gotta get a little fingernail in there. No, it's annoying, but sometimes you have to use fingernails in the real Transformers. Take these sections, fold them in, and take the spoiler and rotate them like that. And you just fold it on the top, just for now. And the whole legs will be from here. And his leg transformation is kind of annoying sometimes. So it's really smooth actually, but it took me a while to figure out because his legs are something I made last minute because I wanted to focus on how his chest all looked. And of course you do this thing with all my Transformers. They're like thigh design or whatever. Rotate that. Rotate that. And you see this arm here. And you have to shift it over. Same for this side. And you kind of just collapse that in like this. Get a better view from the front. And just kind of collapse it. Everything will kind of rest on each other like that. And you take this section that becomes like knee pads or something, armor parts. You take that, rotate it down, and then you can see the rear bumper. You kind of close it in a little more, keeps it much cleaner, and yeah. And then for the bottom, his heels, of course, his signature heels. You kind of just splay them out a little bit. And there are his legs. Camera a tiny bit. And now for some more complicated parts. You can shift the door wings up as high as they can go. It gives them the clearance to move in and out, but I'm not going to do that yet. And same for the other side. You shift it up. Okay. And then this section here will hold the arms. This is something very different. Okay, that broke. Yeah, it gets stuck in there and comes out. That part doesn't break very often. And this is something I do in a lot of my Transformers. Arms extend out like that. And come to the bottom. And unlike my original movie Bumblebee, where the head would just come out at random, just rest on top of everything, this one actually has the folding down hood. You fold the top sections of this down. Actually, before you do that, you take your finger there, there's like a robot arm there, and you just need to grab a little piece of it and shift it out a tiny bit. It's about like half a stud, but it gives you more clearance. And you fold this section down. And then I would take the backpack and move it out of the way. Right now it be in 4 different sections: the roof, the arms, the whole chest, wings, and the legs, which is kind of cool. And you move this down away from the head. There's a little bit of clearance issues, but it works. Like that. And then you make the torso like this. And then for his chest, you put these sections back up and you kind of angle them a tiny bit. There's angled chest. And then for his arms, this part is really cool. Like how you fold this forward and you rotate this like that. Actually rotate them down because they're going to be facing in that direction. This took me a really long time to figure out. You open this, and this whole section right here will kind of like slot into here exactly, like really cleanly. And you just kind of wiggle everything in, make sure everything lines up. You might hear a little click or something. Yeah, there you go. Alright. And his arms are now ready, and you fold the rest of his body down like that. And you move his wings outwards. They can be positioned in a wider variety of poses. And last but not least, his backpack, which surprisingly isn't that bad. You take the head flap, fold it like that, and you fold this section. This section actually go around like that, And the spoiler, you can see, kind of fits in the sides here, which is really cool. And you take this little flap, which is supposed to be like a tiny window, and leave it like that. And this section will kind of just rest on the back. Alright, now B should be done now. Okay. One. He has a little trouble standing, but we'll get into that. And here is Bumblebee in his robot mode. To be honest, he's probably my favorite from the last night so far. Sorry, Barricade. And he's a great improvement over my first movie version, and mainly because of how sturdy he is. He holds together pretty well. The only downside, I would say, his wings are a little too big, but it's alright. And his legs are really inaccurate. That's because they were made last minute, and I had to squeeze them in, and things didn't line up correctly. These wheels should be like stuck inside here, and the toy does that pretty well. And I don't think the bumper's supposed to be like flipped around. Other than that, that should be good. And the legs aren't very stable, but that's besides the point. See his head, it's pretty much the same thing as my Age of Extinction or generic Transformer heads that are round. And his arms are held in place very nicely. I don't have that really like weird like system I had with my first movie B. And he's pretty posable. His arms might be a little thin, but it's fine. His legs do move in and out, and they're flexible. My standard frame, I would say. His legs have a little play on them, but usually they can collapse if he's standing up too long. And his wings do move around a lot. Yeah, he's pretty posable, fairly posable. Anyways, let's get to his weapons. He does have a few weapons. Right, let's stand him up a little more. Yeah, he does have a few problems with that. But not to the degree of Prime, where he can't support his own weight. Okay, for his first weapon, you have his signature arm cannon here. It's pretty simple, and this part works perfectly for the tip. And to attach it, you fold the arms in. I don't know, I usually have this policy of like having Transformers that have weapons, like how I don't want to like take anything apart from the main Transformer. Like, especially with my Prime figures, I like to have the weapons fit over certain parts. And the toy, it seems like you could take off the arm and put the cannon, but I decided to go that way. This arm just kind of tabs in front of his hand. It's kind of laying there, but you could pretend it's something else. And it's very nice. I even have this yellow bit to pretend it's part of his arm, like coming straight out. Yeah, I love how that looks. Unfortunately, his arm can't go like straight out, but due to some articulation issues, but that looks great. I love how that looks. And his second weapon is his hammer. Since the movie didn't come out, I don't know if there's a name of it. People have been saying it's the Forge of Solus Prime from like Transformers Prime, but I don't want to jump to conclusions. But I did say it's a hammer. I know people are gonna comment below when the movie comes out and say it's whatever named or whatever. And you can hold it in one hand. Yeah, that looks great. It's two weapons, and he's ready to fight Optimus Prime. And one more feature that we actually just found out today, well, the 17th, when the trailer came out, and I didn't have to do any additional, like, building anything, is B can separate into, like, little parts, and, like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I'm guessing it's kind of like KSI technology, how, like, Galvatron works and the drones. You could take them apart into little pieces. Come on, Bumblebee, come on. And you could take them apart into little pieces like that. I don't know if this is accurate to the trailer, how many pieces he breaks into, but just the general idea is that he's made out of Lego. You could take him apart like that. I don't know, that's a very weird ability, and people say it makes B invincible. I'm guessing he's not invincible if he gets hit in the chest or his head or something. But I wonder if this will play a part into how he fights Optimus Prime. Yeah. Alright, time to put him back together. Yeah, so you're probably wondering how he scales with my other Transformers from the last night. He's about the same like size as Crosshairs, and Drift is a tiny bit shorter. I like the scale. At first I was really worried he would be too tall because how long his legs were and his body. But I think it works perfectly now, actually. And of course with his nemesis, Barricade. Right, put this out of the way. I hope these two have a good fight in the movie. It'll work very nicely. It's kind of weird how complex B is compared to Barricade. I guess it's true, the same could be said for the toys. I think B looks fairly complex. And the even bigger question is, how does he scale with Optimus Prime as a worst enemy in this movie? Well, B has a lot of enemies in this movie. Well, just Prime and Barricade. Yeah, Prime's pretty big, and on his face I did add a little stripe here to show his like kind of like war paint stuff, like his like mind control. I don't know what that is, but we'll find out when the movie comes out. And they look very nice together. I plan on updating Optimus to look like his the Last Night Voyager toy, which is very nice because this guy's a bit like cluttery and he can't even stand up. But if I don't have time, I'll probably leave him like that. That's fine. And the cool thing is, Bee's wings do come off easily. He could like, these Bee's wings. And he'd be like, forgive me. Like, yeah, so that should be it for this video. I think he turned out amazing. He's my favorite from the Last Night so far, and I think it'll only get better from there. My next ones from the Last Night is I'm probably planning on making either Megatron, Hot Rod, and maybe Hound. I need to take apart Age of Extinction, Hound, Galvatron, and Lockdown, so you know I'll probably turn them into each of them or something like that. Hopefully they have enough parts, and or I could bricklink them. Anyways, you guys want instructions for this guy? I might have to wait a while. I want to make new Transformers now that I'm at home instead of making instructions for already existing ones. So yeah. And yeah, this is pretty much it for this video. Really hope you enjoy B, since he's been like highly requested and he turned out great for me. And yeah, if you want to keep up to date and everything, you can follow me on Instagram, or yeah, that should be it for this video. Alright, I'll see you guys really soon, and yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe as always, and I'll see you guys.